This is the Fury Toys Sun Wukong Monkey King. And I got to give a huge shout out to Bombusbee. They sent this over for me to review. Really appreciate it. I do have one on pre-order somewhere else, but I'm really happy to have two. For the box nerds, we'll take a look at the box. Logo has gold trim around it. Sun Wukong the Monkey King. You see on the bottom, you got your legalese, made in China. Fury Toys Journey to the West, Sun Wukong by Fury Toys. And a bunch of scenery and foliage. You open this up, because it does open up. One thing I will say about the box is I wish the presentation was a little bit better. I kind of wish this was gold embossed. For what this character is supposed to be, the Monkey King, this should have been a lot nicer. There should have been pictures of it on here. Black on the back. More foliage, a waterfall with some words on the rocks, and more mountains and stuff. And that's pretty much it. For the sculpt, paint, and details, they did a pretty damn good job here. I really love this figure. Like, it's really nice. Everything about it just hits all the notes that I would want in a figure. But the sculpt is nice. It's very regal. It's very like Monkey King-esque. It's very dependent on the time. You know, the Journey to the West is so old that this stuff just pulls from its origin, and I love it. All the details, all the paint. Another thing I want to talk about really quick while we're here are the eyes. The eyes, they do this thing, so they light up. First of all, they light up, but they do this thing where they follow you. I'm going to include this in the details portion because I want to. They follow you when you look down, look up, and to the side, and that is insane. Not only that, but they do light up different colors. You get red, blinking yellow, and then you get blinking red. They also include the battery and the magnet. Some other toys that have light up eyes don't include these things, so it's nice to see it in the box. This thing has a full range of articulation. It does things that you don't expect something with armor to do. Starting with the head, you can look up that far and down that far, and it will 360. Tilts every which way you need. Monkey King is a really, he's like a pest kind of a character. He does tricks and stuff. He's pretty much like Loki and a whole bunch of other stuff rolled into one character. But he does a lot of foolish things and a lot of trickery. So his little face is like perfect. And then being able to get it that way while he's doing it is pretty sick. The shoulders with the armor on, I'm going to move the armor out the way. The shoulders will go up that high. The armor shifts on a ball joint. It's like a double ball joint right there. And it shifts down. It shifts up and down so you can get that. You can put it down there or up there if you want. Also, this is separate from the arm, so this will rotate. So if you want to put this higher on his arm, you can. If you want to put it lower, you could do that too. He has double jointed elbows, which been in that far. Even with the sculpt, it's not stopping it. You can see there's the hair sculpt on the elbow too. You do get a bicep swivel in there. For the torso, get the scarf out the way. You get an upper swivel, which will 360. Show you. You get a lower swivel, which will also 360. Not only that, this is one of the few figures where it bends further forward than back. And I really love that. You can see this armor isn't hindering the articulation whatsoever. And to me, that's perfect. It'll go that far back. You can kind of see in there. It's on a double. Can you see in there? Well, with my eye, I can see in there. It's a double ball peg in there. The hips will go up that far. And you can see the skirt armor is not hindering anything. So that's really nice. It will kick elbows. It will also kick out that far. Again, the skirt armor just gets out the way. That's one of my favorite parts of this figure, is the skirt armor isn't hindering anything. Double jointed knees. They'll bend in about that far. They'll run into, move that out the way. They'll run into themselves, but that's still a really nice bend. You also get a thigh swivel in there. It is like a ball jointed thigh swivel up in there, so you get that. You get ankle swivel, which is my favorite piece of articulation. You get down that far, but too far and the feet pop off because you have interchangeable feet. We'll talk about that in accessories. Up that far, you do get an ankle pivot. One of my major gripes with this is it doesn't have toe joint. I kind of wish they would have just went the extra mile and did that. Would have been nice. For accessories, I wanted to start off with the faces. So you do get this smiling face, which is nice as hell. I really like this addition. You also get this smiling face, which is another nice addition. I think all the faces fit the character, so I think that's dope. You also get this stern, judgy face, so if you want him to look like he means business, this is the one you're going to use. Now, he does come with a ton of hands, 2 of which are already on the figure. No fisted hands, which I think is kind of interesting because he does fight, but I guess he's not like a fighter like that. He also has these other type of hands, like the pinky out hand. I'm guessing this is for like a come at me, bro. And you get this other open hand for the other side, another grippy hand. And then these pinky out hands are for holding another accessory I'll show in a second. So there's a second tray with more hands. So you get like these karate kung fu type-esque hands. Like if you want him to put his hand to his face. I would swap him over, but it's kind of a pain sometimes to swap all this stuff. So you can get that going if you need that hand. And you get, I don't know what this hand would be for, but you get 2 of those. Like a fighty style hand, I guess. Remember that pinky out hand I was talking about? Here's one of the accessories you can hold with that. Can't even show you that now because that thing flew across the room. So you also get these food items. I'm not 100% sure what these are. Let me know in the comments if you know, because I do not. But one is flocked and one is regular. You actually get 3 because you get one in this baggie. I just didn't take it out. So for the feet options, you do get the shoes, which I don't think look as good on this version of Monkey King. Most times you see him with the shoes, he has like a full outfit on, not the exposed monkey parts. He'll literally have a shirt and pants and stuff on, and the shoes look good. For this type of Monkey King, I think the exposed feet look the best. And you also get like these bent feet, so if you want to make it look like he's perching on something and grabbing the edge, you can do that too. And you get both sides for that. You get a third one of those fruit items, but this one's like regular, it's not flocked. I'm not sure why they put the flocked one in the package and not this one. Maybe it's supposed to be the other way. I don't know. Also do get an alternate head for the crown. Or, I don't know if this is the crown exactly. But that pegs in just like that if you saw it. I'm not sure. And these feathers plug right on top. Just for different looks of Sun Wukong. However you... I mean, if you know... Like I said, if you know what this stuff is, let me know in the comments. I would swap this on the body, but it's the connection point. The peg hole is really tight, and I just don't feel like going through all that. But here's what it looks like with a face on there. And you can see the browns are a little different, but you get the feather crown thing if that's what you want. Also, you get a bendy tail. I don't put this on the figure mainly because mine, it like stressed out on me. And like, I don't want to break it. You see how it's coming apart. I don't want to break it, so I'm not putting it on the figure, but it is bendy. So if yours is in better condition than mine, then you can get a bendy tail on them if you want. And last but not least, you do get soft goods. Now, I'm not 100% sure what these sashes mean. I did read that the blue one means he's flying or can fly. I just don't know what the red one means. So if you know, let me know. And you get this long cape. I'm not putting this on the figure mainly because I don't want a 3-foot cape on my toy. Like, I don't see a purpose to have a cape that long, especially when I put this on the shelf. It's not going to matter. And you can attach that with these little hearts right here. These little hearts pop out and you peg them. You put the cape over the hole, peg it in, and you can get a long cape. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I just wish it wasn't so long. Like, it's twice as long as the figure. I don't even know what to compare it to. Let's compare it next to this Transformer I got on my desk. It's about as tall as a Transformer. So I don't really need a cape that long on my toy, but it's in the box if you want it. Get this little greebly here. I don't know what this goes to. I look for peg holes all over this figure. There ain't none. So if you know where this goes, let me know. This staff is really nice. It's kind of long. It's way taller than the figure. But it has a light up feature. So if you push these down, the way I set it up, you push those down, they light up. And it's pretty bright. Let me turn this other light off. It's pretty bright, so that's kind of nice. You can see the waving motion you get with this. It's pretty sick. There is an accessory pack too that has these ends are like motion. I'll put a picture on the screen because I can't explain it. But that's nice. I think that's pretty sick. And these LEDs are different. I've never seen LEDs like these before. It's like this little pill LED. I've never seen this in my life. I promise you. I know some people probably have, but it's like really small. This red thing pops on the top. It has like this metal, it's a little metal strip. Once that strip touches the side, it lights up. That's pretty convenient. I like that. I like that they included that. They didn't have to include the LEDs with this, but I'm glad they did. I did want to touch on a couple of gripes I have with this figure. While I do love what's here, there are some things I don't like. You know me. I have to find something to complain about. But the wrist, it's nice. It swivels. It does everything it's supposed to. But the range is very limited, especially coming up. You can see even if I shift this down, the wrist is not going to get this full motion. It's going to be hindered. So that's another problem. Another thing too with the wrist is, I think it's this one. Sometimes when I pop this off, this like half of the ball joint will come off too. So the hands are, some of the hands are tight, but of course it's not going to do it on camera. Another minor gripe I have are the ankles are kind of tight. I don't know if you can hear that. You can hear how tight the ankles are. It's kind of scary at first. I put shock oil in it and it didn't really loosen up or move anything. But that's one thing to look out for. I can see a lot of people breaking that. Also, wish it had toe joints. For size comparisons, here he is next to the Sexy Ice Unkveil Terminator, I can't remember the name, and a Jaded Toys Dalsim. It is next to a Mafex, The Dark Knight Returns, and a Power Rangers Lightning Collection Omega Ranger, Red Ranger. Almost said that all the way the wrong way. It is next to a Marvel Legends Thing, mainly because that's a bigger figure and it's one I had on my desk. And a Mezco Green Goblin. He's on his glider, so minus like about half an inch. And then here he is next to the Medi Toys Necromancer Shaman and the Savage Crucible Lizard Man Royal Guard. And here it is next to a Revoltech Ancient Venom and a super hyper articulated Minecraft guy. So he is next to a DLX War Machine and a Loose Collector Rocketeer. I really like this figure. I know I say that every time I review something most times, but I do. Genuinely, I was looking forward to this figure when it was first announced. I love highly articulated things, and this falls right into that category. Like, honestly, this guy, I did a pose on my Instagram. This man will literally cross his legs, right? He can cross his legs, and he can put his face in his hand. Maybe not this hand. Maybe I'm overestimating it, but no. He can cross his legs and face palm. So he can sit there in disappointment of you with his staff. This thing is amazing. The lights, the features, the sculpt, the paint, everything about this is what I'm here for. Shout out to Bombusbee for sending this over. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate reviewing stuff for y'all, especially new stuff. I love introducing my audience to new things. And this might not be new to some people, but for someone, this is their first time seeing this, and that's just what I do it for. So like, comment, subscribe. If you like this video, you like this review, watch one of these other ones on the screen.